Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me and thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with me and watch this video. Today it's video number 7 of our junk journal. So this is what we have so far. So today we will be working on those 2 pages, and I'm choosing to use some leftover papers that I have from previous projects. And I chose the leftover papers that somewhat are coordinated within the colors. So we will use some of that, and I will use some breadths. So for this page, I will use some of this. And what we will do, we will cut 2 triangles. We don't want them to be too big, so approximately I'm gonna make 2.5 inches on each side, and actually I might make 2.5 and 4. So 2.5 and 4 on this side, and I will need 2 of them. So let me make the same one right here. 2.5 and 4, and it does not have to be exact. So this page will be simple, yet a little bit different. Now, actually, I am gonna cut the third one, but the third one, so this will be the top, and we will position this way. So I will cut the third one just like that. Another 2.5 inches and 4, but this time I'm gonna make it just a tiny bit smaller, because this piece will go on the back of this one, like that. Now I will need another piece, and I want to capture this design. So I am going to cut it just like that, and I tell you approximate dimension, but it really does not matter. So this strip we need to score, and this one is about 2 3/4. So I'm gonna score this at 2.5, and I'm gonna score this one at 1.5. So this is what I want to see right on the front. So when I fold this over, and this side could be a little bit longer to overlap, but because I want to capture this design, I'm limited how much paper I have on this side. So I'm gonna fold this one, and I am gonna create a little band just like this. So now I will draw the line, and this is just the guide for me, because I want to cut this panel just a little bit shorter. Just like that. So when I fold over, I'm hiding this little flap. So let me glue this flap first. And as you can see, I am not paying attention to the length for now. And we will create a little bend like this. Now, for the bend, I do want to put in here bread, because I will use this actually as a closure. So I am gonna cut out with the scissors. I'm gonna cut out a circle. And just a little bit bigger, so I can put the bread through this. Okay, now if you have a punch hole, you can probably punch this out. So let me make the hole on the middle, like this. Okay. And now I do want to place this bread right here, but I want this to be a little bit more visible. So let me cut this just a little bit smaller. Okay, and I will take some contrasting color. So let me do this on the back. I'm gonna draw the circle because I want to cut this just a little bit larger. Again, this would be much easier and quicker with the punch, but I don't have the circle punch. So now let me just glue this. Just like that. And now I'm gonna cut this, trim this to the side I want. Okay. It's not perfect, but it's gonna be good enough for me. Okay. We're gonna put the bread through this, and I will need another triangle just like that. So we cut one for the top, double one, and we're gonna cut another one for the bottom. So when I position this like that, I want to make sure that the right side will be on both sides. Okay, and this will be on the back, so I will just cut it with the scissors just a tiny bit smaller. And I'm doing this only because I want a little bit extra body into this, because I will also put little bread right in here. So this, we can glue it one to the other. Just like that. Just make sure that nothing is sticking out on the front. just like this. And we do the same thing to this one. Okay, so the most important part is that you don't see any of this white paper on the right side. So this will be almost like a little packet on both sides, just like that. And I'm thinking of applying this little band just across like this. So when you put something in, you can actually hold it with this band. So I am gonna put the bread somewhere right here, but I'm gonna put only through the one side of paper. Just like this. I will open this. And now we're gonna be able to glue this. So, as you can see, I'm not measuring anything yet. Let me glue all of this together. All right. So if this will be the closure, we want overlap at least a little bit. And this part, I will cut it somewhere in here. So I cut it in here because I want this to be underneath, just like that. So you can reposition your angle however you want, and this one will work for me. So I will apply glue right here. Make sure that the glue is on the side where you have your bread. You can position this just like that and position the top the way you want this to close. So I'm making this one on a little angle, as you can see. So now I will apply glue only to two sides, like this, and I will glue this, just like that. Now I want this to be kind of foldable. So the idea is that you can place something right here underneath, and this will hold everything together. So now this side is not done yet, because I will also put little bread on this side. So when I position this, lay it out the way you want it, and I'm gonna put little bread right here. So now for this one, I am not doing any decoration. So I am just gonna mark the place where I want the bread to be. And I'm gonna put this one closer to the bottom. So let me just make the hole. I'm gonna put the bread. Let me spread this open. Just like that. And on this one, on this side, you won't be able to see it, and I should probably glue this right on top of it. but I didn't. So just to cover this, I will just glue something just like that, just to cover it, so when you put something inside, it's not gonna get stuck on that brad. Just like that. And that will be the bottom pocket. So now I am gonna apply the glue only on two sides. Just like that. I want to make sure that this is glued. Okay. So I bought little twine in Dollar Tree. So I am gonna just tie it around here. Just make a little loop. Because I don't want this one to be removable. And the way we tie it, we're gonna tie it only around the top. And we just created our little pocket. You can put different things, different sizes, and this band will hold everything together. So to decorate this side, I will also use this paper. And we will trim this one to 7.5, actually 7 3/4. And we're gonna cut this in half. 6 inches. So for this one, I will score one sheet at 1 inch. And this one, I think I'm gonna cut this a little bit smaller. I'm gonna cut this to 4 inches. And I will also score at 1. Now we have this piece left.
And we will cut this one to 5.5.
We need 1 piece. So the leftover piece is 4.25. I'm gonna make this 4 and then cut in half, which will be 2. And we will score this at 1/2 inch, both pieces. So now we're gonna make something similar to whatever we have done before. So we will create a form first. So this large piece on the right hand side, and we will glue it just like that to that flap. Now I'm gonna glue it so I can still see the score right here, so it's easy to close. Just like that. So I will apply the glue only on this portion. Let me position this just like that, and let's glue it. So now this side, we will do the same thing, just on the opposite side. This is going to be our closure. So again, when you close this, you want to see this score. So we apply the glue. Let's position this. I can still see the score, which is perfect. So we are almost creating a little window. And there are different ways of doing this. Just like we have done it previously, so there is no wrong or right way to do this. At least that's my point of view. So now we do the same thing with the bottom portion of it. So I'm gonna apply a little glue. Just glue this side, just like that, making sure that we still have that score on the outside. I will do the same thing here. Okay. So this is what we have. And that will be our page right here. So I am gonna glue only the outside of it, just like that. Okay, and this is what we have. As you can see, it's very similar to whatever we have done it previously. So now we're going to put something on the inside, and I do have this leftover paper. So we will cut this to 5.5 by 7 3/4. 7 3/4 by 5.5. And I will use this for the back. Okay. So now, as you can see, this is how this is gonna close, but we will do some additional pages right here. So for the inside, I will use, this is the 65-pound cardstock, and we will cut this. We will cut this down to 7 inches and 5.5, and we will need 2 of them. Then we're gonna cut one sheet down to 6 inches and we will cut this down to 4 inches, and we will need 2 of them. So now we will score. So we will score at half an inch, and this is the smaller piece, so we are scoring the longer side. All pieces at half an inch. Now we will fold and burnish. And we will position them just like this. Now, before we do that, we will trim the corners just a little bit. And we will do that actually on all 4 pieces. And we will glue these this way, just like that. So this is how I'm holding this. We will place the glue right here. This is where the flap is. So I am going to position this on the middle and glue it just like that, one on the top of the other. And we will do the same thing to the opposite side. So we place glue right here on the inside of this flap, and we will position approximately on the middle and glue it just like that. So we are creating additional pages right here on the inside. So now this flap I will glue into our page just like that, also trying to position this on the middle, looking at the top and the bottom, just like that. And I should probably glue this first so the back page is nice, but that's okay, we can do something with that. So now again, approximately on the middle, just like that. And we just created additional pages. So you can fold them however you want. Now for this, I should have placed this first and put this piece underneath, but that's okay. I still have this left, so I will just cut out the design. So now I can position this on the top just like that. to cover this. And I think that will be just fine. But let me cut this to size. So this is 7 3/4. And let's see, 7 3/4. Let me cut it here. And one more strip. Now I need to make sure that I can still close this. So when you close it, you kind of readjust when you glue in this. Okay. So as you can see, we have a lot of pockets in this one, different things you can do. Now again, if we keep on putting more things in here, you might need to trim some of those flaps, but you don't have to. So now for the closure, I am gonna so now for the closure, we're gonna make something a little bit different. And again, I mentioned to you that I'm using some paper that I have left over. And this is the paper I have left over from my previous project. So what I'm gonna do, I am gonna make just a little pocket right here. So because this panel is a little bit longer, you can always tuck something right here and you're still gonna be able to close it. So now we still need to decorate these sides. So to decorate those, and you could decorate right here those blank pages. I'm leaving them as they are because I don't know if you wanna glue something in here. We could actually put additional pockets, and I'm trying to see what I have, and I still have these left. So maybe we will make some pockets in here on the inside. So this is 5 inches. We're gonna make 4 3/4 inch pocket. Let's see, how much is this? 4 1/4. This is a little too short, but I have 2 pieces left. This one is 2 inches, and I would prefer this to be a little bit longer. I am gonna make them both pieces 2 inches, and we said 4 3/4. Four and 3/4. So I'm applying glue only on 3 sides. We will position this on the middle. And we have additional pockets. And the same thing on this one. Okay. So I guess we can make little small ones in here also. And I do have more paper left. So this one we can make 3 1/4. Let me just trim this straight. 3 1/4. And 3 1/4. Okay. So as you can see, you have plenty of space in here. In here, right in here, you can use this as a background and just glue something in here. I don't know, maybe you have some tickets or something like that, or you don't have to glue it. You can just put it in here, because when you close those flaps, everything will stay put. So now we can decorate these pages and we will make the closure. Before we make the closure, I think we should decorate this. Now to decorate the flaps, I think I'm gonna use another cardstock. This is the 65 pound. So we need, this is 3. We will need 2 1/2 and 4 1/2. So we said 3 1/2, 4 1/2. Then we have flaps, for which we will use, the flap is 1 1/2, we will use 1 1/4. So 1 1/4. And 1 1/4. So now for the height, we will use 7 1/4. 7 1/4. Now the flaps, 5 1/2. We will do 5. So now I'm just trying to cover this, just not to leave it white like that. And it will also give a little bit extra body into that cardstock or paper. now the sides. Now I also chose to decorate with this light cardstock. And this one is too large. It should be 2.5, and I cut it 3.5. So I need to recut this. So I chose this light cardstock because you can still decorate this with the stickers, or maybe you do want to write something in here or draw something. So I think that the light cardstock is just perfect for that. Okay. All right, so the only thing we need is the closure. So I mentioned to you that I created a little pocket in here. So we can always put something right there, but we should be able to close this. So to close this, I am gonna make something that I have made it before. And I will still use some of this pink. So this one measures 7 3/4, but the length doesn't really matter. This is 1 and a little bit more than 3/4. And I will just fold this in half. Okay. So now I need to trim this. I don't want to see anything peeking from underneath. Now I will glue this together. All right. And this will be my band. So I think I will just glue it right here. Kind of in the middle. Now, to make this a little bit prettier right here, I am just gonna fussy cut this little butterfly that I have left over and use that as a decoration. Okay, we can put this right here just to cover those edges of that band. Okay. And now I still have this left. So I will fold this over on 2 sides. I am not using any particular measurement because I want to use this as a little band right here on top of the pocket. The only thing is when I glue this, and I'm putting the band on the inside, when I'm gluing this, I want to make sure that this is folded straight so you don't see anything coming up from underneath. Okay, so here is the band. Now we can close it, and this is not glued yet. Okay, so now this piece is way too long, so I will cut this, and just like previously we kind of fold it over, and this will hold this piece closed. So now if you don't like this straight cut, just trim it a little bit on the edges, or you can round the corners. So here it is, our next page, or next 2 pages. So we made this where we can store just about anything, and we made this. You got plenty of room to write. You do have a pocket. Okay, so I put some cards on the inside just to show you there is plenty of space to place different type of cards, different sizes. We have nice closure, and on this side you can open it. We have pocket right here. You got plenty of writing space or space for your stickers. When you open this, again, you can decorate this with different things, make little different notes. When you open it, you have pockets, more space. When you open this, you got, again, additional pockets on both sides. In here, you can put just anything you like. And I think this is just coming out beautifully. You have plenty of room for just about everything. So this is the video for today, and I hope to see you soon for part number 8. Thank you so much for watching.